All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're tackling a huge topic that's changing the real estate world as we speak, how you can actually use AI to close more deals. And the best part, you can do it without having to hire more staff. So let's get to it.
Okay, start with this question and be honest with yourself. How many? We've all been there, right? That notification for a new lead pops up, but you're in the middle of a showing, you're stuck in traffic, you're buried in paperwork, and by the time you get to it, poof, they're gone. Those aren't just missed opportunities, that's real money walking out the door.
And you know, this gets to the absolute heart of the matter. You're probably spending good money on Zillow, on your website, on social media ads to get those leads. So the leads are coming in. The problem, the real breakdown, happens in those critical first few minutes. It's not about getting more leads, it's about what you're doing with the ones you already have. So let's really dig into what this costs you. We call it the real estate speed problem. And trust me, it's a much bigger deal than most people realize.
I bet this scenario feels a little too real for a lot of you. A hot lead hits your inbox, but you're busy. It just sits there, maybe for 20 minutes, maybe an hour. But in that tiny little window of time, another agent, probably one using an automated system, has already sent a text, answered a basic question, and booked a call. And just like that, the deal is lost before you even knew you were in the running.
And this right here shows you the new reality of the game. We're not talking about a small gap. 30 seconds versus 30 minutes? To a buyer who's ready to go now, that is an eternity. In today's market, speed is everything. And that gap? Well, that gap is the difference between closing a deal and never even getting a chance to say hello.
Okay, so how on earth do you solve this speed problem without hiring a whole team of people to stare at their phones all day? Well, this is where the idea of a 24/7 automated assistant comes into play. And honestly, it is a complete game changer.
First things first, let's get one thing straight. When we say AI for realtors, we are not talking about some robot that's going to take over your client meetings. Not at all. This is about using smart technology to handle all those boring, repetitive, but incredibly time-sensitive tasks that burn agents out and let good leads die on the vine. It's here to help you, not replace you.
So what does this assistant actually do? Well, this is the really cool part. It can instantly text every single lead that comes in. It qualifies them, asking if they're a buyer or a seller. It asks the important questions, like about their budget and their timeline. And here's the magic trick. It books qualified appointments directly onto your calendar. And it doesn't just stop after one message. It can follow up for 30, 60, even 90 days. And here's its superpower, right? This thing works 24/7. It never calls in sick, it doesn't take vacations, it never, ever forgets to follow up. So every single lead gets that same instant, professional, and persistent response, whether it's 2 p.m. on a Tuesday or 2 a.m. on a Sunday morning. That's how you build a machine that reliably turns leads into appointments.
All right, that all sounds nice in theory, but let's talk about what really matters, the money. What does this actually mean for your bank account? Let's run some numbers.
So first, let's just pick a number to work with. Obviously, this changes depending on your market, but let's say the average commission on a deal is $12,000. Just keep that number in your head for a minute. Now imagine this. What if all this system did was help you close just one extra deal a month? Not 10, just one that otherwise would have slipped through the cracks because of a slow response. Seems pretty reasonable, doesn't it?
Well, you do the math. That one extra deal a month at a $12,000 commission turns into a staggering $144,000 in extra revenue over a year. That's the power we're talking about. It's not some crazy overhaul of your business. It's a small improvement that has a massive financial impact. But hold on, because it's not just about lead response. Not even close. Once you have a tool like this in your business, it starts to streamline all sorts of other things. Just think about all the little admin tasks that suck up an agent's day. AI can write you a killer listing description in about 10 seconds. It can draft your email newsletters, it can write clever social media posts for your new properties, and it can even set smart follow-up reminders in your CRM so you never miss an important check-in with the past client.
So what's the bottom line here? It's simple. Less time on paperwork means more time building relationships, showing houses, and actually selling. It makes every agent on your team more productive, and that flows directly to your bottom line.
Okay, let's zoom out for a second, because this brings us to the final and maybe the most important point. This isn't just about making things easier. This is about your competitive advantage in an industry that is changing fast.
You know, a lot of realtors are worried about the risk of trying something new like AI. What if it doesn't work? What if it's too complicated? But here's the thing, the conversation has totally flipped. The real risk, the biggest danger to your business right now, is doing nothing at all. It's waiting. Look, it really boils down to two paths from here. The early adopters, they're going to get the best leads because they're the fastest. They're going to scale their business without adding massive payroll costs. Meanwhile, the late adopters are going to find themselves working way harder for way less, and they'll be watching their profits get smaller and smaller.
And that's really what it all comes down to. The question isn't if AI is going to impact the real estate industry. That ship has sailed. It's already happening. The only question you have to ask yourself is this: are you going to implement it before your competition does? Thanks for tuning in.